afternoon. Over 30,000 people have come through the doors here at Alexandra Palace since last Sunday. But I think this crowd is the luckiest one of all because they've got tickets to a DAFABET Masters final that is a real generation game. We've got Ronnie O'Sullivan, now into his 40s, into a 13th Masters final and still on track for an awesome 8th title. But Judd Trump, still in his 20s, just about, and he wants to be the man, the king of the palace this time. He's through to his first Masters final. This could be an occasion for the ages.
It's a great event, you know, it's just the top 16 players and, you know, one table set up. When you go out there, it really is a true test, you know, and, you know, the best of the best can perform in them conditions, you know.
I'm really excited to play Ronnie in the final. As a kid is sort of what you aspire to be, and to be playing him in front of a massive crowd in London, in front of his home crowd, is going to be a great day for me.
I like his game, you know, you can't help but appreciate the way he plays, and there's no one that can play shots like Judd. And no one wants to be the next somebody, you know, I think you just want to be you, you know, and I think Judd is aware of that, and I think he just wants to be himself. That's what all, you know, winners, champions kind of do, you know, you have to be your own person.
Hopefully he falls out of form and I can pick up from where he's left off, but I think, yeah, it's something you have to enjoy. While he's playing this good, I think at certain points he looks absolutely unbeatable. He's probably in the prime of his career now. You know you're going to have to really play well. You don't ever get Ronnie folding anymore, so you're going to have to really go out and earn it. I don't really compare myself against him. He's probably the best of all time. He's breaking sort of every record possible. It's very nice to be sort of mentioned in the same breath, but I've just gone around at my own pace, and I think I've proven that I'm a good player. But I think obviously everyone looks back at the end of your career, it's how many majors you've won. So I think for me it's obviously important to go out and try and win as many as possible.
This year it was nice to not go out early, and, you know, having made it to the final was great. But obviously when you get there you want to try and sort of, you know, pick up silverware as well.
After a pulsating week of live action, this is it, it's the big one. Welcome to the 2019 DAFABET Masters Final. Two of the ultimate entertainers going toe-to-toe for one of snooker's most important titles. Sporting history is written on days like today. So let's get the boys on the bays. Please welcome the most exciting player of his generation, Wilson Selby Robertson. What a route to a maiden Masters final. 9 times a ranking event winner. Here's a player approaching the very peak of his powers. Ladies and gentlemen, here comes the ace in the pack, Judd Trump. And his opponent, A player whose achievements and personality have transcended his sport for a quarter of a century. He is already the most successful player in Masters history. One win away from yet another famous milestone. Ladies and gentlemen, blink and you'll miss him, the Rocket, Ronnie O'Sullivan.
What a welcome for both men. 2 sessions stretching before us today. Best of 19 frames final, so they'll play 8 this afternoon, a possible 11 more tonight. Who knows what time we'll finish? But frankly, who cares? Let's just enjoy what is one of the great days in sport. I know Ken Doherty and John Virgo intend to do just that. Afternoon, fellas.
Good afternoon, Hazel, and welcome everybody to what should be an absolute classic. And I'd say without doubt, Ken, the 2 players that deserve to be in a final. There's been no fluke about their route to this great occasion.
Absolutely not, John.
Would you like to
what
call
a
it?
reception for
Heads.
both players.
It is heads. It's
Absolutely magical in here. What an atmosphere. Dream final.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. First frame.
Let's just sit back and enjoy it.
Yeah, and even from his first match, Judd Trump has looked a different player, I've got to say, in this tournament. He's looked to have everything under control, his shot selection. He's not been going for the sort of risky ones, well, not as much. And of course he knows, as he said in his interview, he's got to be at his best today to beat Ronnie O'Sullivan, whose track record here in the Masters is just incredible. '13th final. Amazing.
Incredible, isn't it? 7 wins. 5 times runner-up. First chance. Half a chance for Judd Trump. Just having a look to see, is the pink available? If he takes this red on. Great opener. Cued it absolutely beautifully. Let's have a look at the cue ball there. Perfect side of the blue. Well, if you were feeling a little bit nervous, which it's only natural
6
to be in such a big final, that would certainly settle your nerves, putting the opening red.
Seven.
Well, the pink's tied up, and I'm not certain about the black. He's got a nice angle on the blue here. May play the cannon. Running to the pink 4-ball. Looks worth the risk. Well, he caught it a glancing blow. He needs a bit of luck. Does he have a red to the left corner? I'm not sure. I'm looking at his face. Maybe he's not. Well, maybe the one closest to the cue ball will just go. It's tight. I don't think all the pockets available.
Yeah, good putt. As John said, he didn't have all the pocket. Hit it into the left-hand side as we look, but not the perfect angle on the blue this time. So needs another good mid-distance pot on this red.
80.
Pink is also available into the bottom right-hand corner pocket, so doesn't have to do too much work with the cue ball.
19.
Struck that well, right in the heart of the pocket. It's always a good sign when a player's not touching the jaws when the ball goes in. Just the start he was looking for. And as Steve Davies was saying, because he commentated on his match last night against Neil Robertson, there was a lot of nerves out there because both players were desperate to be part of this occasion today, to play the greatest player that's ever lived and test your mettle against him.
25.
Yeah, absolutely understandable. Play against this man in the final of the Masters
26.
here in London. Another good shot there. I'd love to get that red away from the black. And he's come down to try and get on it now. And it looks, well, if it was a little bit straighter,
31.
it would have been perfect. But he still has the other red if he doesn't want to take this. This would be better for him, of course, because it would clear the black spot.
Yeah, but looking from behind the pocket, it looks as though the black is available. I think the problem he's got, that if he does pot the black and it's respotted, he'll be tied up. So that's why he's clearing this red. But he needs a good shot to get a good angle on the blue.
32.
Just about got there. Now the black's in the clear. Frame-winning chance.
He's got a couple of options here, but may go down for the red that's closest to this bottom right-hand corner pocket. He could stun down for that. Yeah, that's the red he shows. The cue ball just needs to travel a little bit more. It looks okay. And first impressions, John,
37.
he looks like he's hitting the ball very, very sweetly indeed, and very confidently.
Yeah, as I say,
38.
from his first match against Kyron Wilson, he's looked as though he's just got a nice pace around the table. He's not playing shots too quick. And now just looking for 3 reds, 3 covers, and he'll be past the point where Ronnie will need
45.
a snooker.
46.
Yeah, there you see it.
53.
53 ahead. Still 80. He's still okay. He's on this red. May have to use a touch aside.
He nearly made a mess of it, didn't he? 2 reds, 2 blacks would do it.
54.
We put him 69 points in front with just 67 remaining. Well, he's not gone far enough up the table, so he's going to have to play for the blue, which will mean after the blue
61.
he'll need 1 more red. Shouldn't be a problem.
62.
So this blue to go 67 points in front with 67 remaining.
Great start from Judd Trump. Came from that wonderful opening red as well.
67.
Yeah. Crowd acknowledges that was fine ball. And just have a look at this opening red. How sweet he cued that in. And what this does, John, is it sends out a signal, doesn't it, to Ronnie O'Sullivan?
75.
He's a different player from last night. As you said, he was a little bit nervous, understandable, to get into this final, but already showing signs of how confident and composed he is.
There you see the effortless cue power of Judd Trump. I mean, that's such a
81.
wonderful shot. to inject that much pace into the cue ball.
82.
He'd love to start with a century. Just came a bit straight on the black.
$89.
Does this outside red go? Must be tight. Oh, looks as though it goes. No, he just
89 and the first frame.
No matter.
Judd Trump.
That was a wonderful start for Judd Trump, and just what he was looking for. One mistake from Ronnie cost him the frame. 1-0, Judd Trump.
At the top of the show, and Judd's been at least 2-0 up in every match this week. Wonderful signal, as the guys were saying, he sent to Ronnie.
Yeah, quick out the starting blocks is a way to get off to not just a good start, but also to have the initiative in the match. And if you can start like that, you do get the chance to keep your opponent in the seat as well. So, you know, perfect from Judd's perspective.
And Stephen, I was interested in what you were saying about belief and the fact that Judd is one of the few at the moment that really does believe in himself and his game against Ronnie.
Yeah, but yes, as I said, but perhaps the only one really. And I think what the problem with a lot of players playing Ronnie is they think they come out and they think they've got to play their absolute best to beat him. And a lot of the times, if they video the match back and watch it back, they don't. They get chances, but they just don't take them. If you can cut out unforced errors, it's amazing how far you get. I mean, it was the same when I couldn't beat Steve in the beginning of my career. I thought I had to play perfect snooker to beat him. I found out that I didn't, because he wasn't actually that good. No, he was. No, he was. No, he was. But yeah, you go out with the mindset that you have to play perfect snooker when you don't.
But there are actually very interesting echoes of the rivalry towards the end of your career with this match now.
Yeah, much more black and white crossover between it seemed, but so Judd's been knocking at the door for quite a bit of time, but you know that's probably down to the fact that Ronnie O'Sullivan is just a sort of demigod on the table.
Certainly a man for all seasons, but he is one behind.
Just hang on a second, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, just a little bit pacey, but I don't see a red that will tempt Judd here. There is a red immediately above the black, just a little bit to the right. There is a thin cut possibly into the left corner, but I think he'd be more intent on getting that cue ball back to the baulk cushion. He's caught it a bit thick, and that's why he's not found the baulk cushion. Left Ronnie half a chance here. Well, looking at the containing safety, but well, maybe it's because it's early on, and of course Judd looks to be in sparkling form, so we don't want to gift him an easy opportunity. But I'm a little bit surprised he didn't play it. And the reason I say that is because in playing it, he'd have flicked off the other red, so he'd have had a path back to blue or baulk colour. But I'm not going to tell him how to play. Decent safety, but at the moment, Ronnie just not getting that cue ball close enough to the baulk cushion. Makes such a difference at this level if you can get your hand on the table. And that's a better length from Judd.
Yeah, I think that's one part of his game that he certainly worked on, Judd Trump, over the last 6 to 12 months. Safety, putting the concentration into his safety as well. We've certainly improved that facet of his game. An interesting statistic there that Hazel said, you know, they played each other 19 times and it's only one match that separated him. Ronnie 10-9 ahead in the match head-to-heads. There's not many players on the circuit would have that sort of statistic against the greatest player that's ever played the game, Ronnie O'Sullivan. So I wouldn't be coming into this match, John, with a sort of big fear factor. He's beaten them, of course, in the final of the Northern Ireland Trophy back in November. Nice little flick on the brown.
Yeah, and once again, catching the baulk colour. Which is very unusual for Ronnie when he's playing well. Doesn't catch a baulk colour, and now that's quite a big target. I'm not saying Judd can get there, but that yellow and brown and the red slowly but surely are beginning to open up. You'll have to be careful here.
If he plays a safety shot off this red that's tight to this right-hand side cushion, he's got to be so careful of the double kiss. And the red is so close to the cushion, it's very difficult to get the perfect contact on it. Shot time coming up to almost 1 minute, but he's just going to lay onto the red, onto the side cushion, come off the top cushion and just try and lay on it. And hopefully not leave Ronnie possible pot. But he has left the red into the left centre.
Yeah, you can only imagine that he's looked at what the potting angle would be, and even if Ronnie potted it, it wouldn't be on a colour, so I don't see Ronnie taking the pot on here. Particularly with that good target, but once again, and very unlike Ronnie, just not getting his safety play right at this moment in time.
That was a careless one, wasn't it? Big target, as you said. And again for Judd Trump, having a look. Possible plant into this bottom right-hand corner pocket, but cue ball up behind that yellow and brown. That's imperative. The only problem about playing that shot is that there's always a possibility that a red will poke its nose out, and it has done, and it's left Ronnie a possible pot here to this bottom right-hand corner pocket. It'll be on the black.
Yeah, first test now for Ronnie. You need to cue these really well. Close, but not there. And he's left the red. He thought the only red he could leave was the one he's playing, and he's left it. It was close.
One. Six. Seven.
Well, he's on pink or black here. Not a great angle on the pink, but has an angle on the black if he wants to pot it and go into the few reds.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I'd be playing the black and playing the one that's 2 up from the top cushion. He's got a natural angle on the black to play for that. And while those reds are just below the black, they are making position off the black a bit awkward, but looks like he's going to play your cannon, Ken. And it's worked out absolutely perfectly.
14.
Yeah, he couldn't have played that any better.
$15.
Knocked another couple of reds into potable positions. Nice angle if he wants to go into the reds here. He doesn't have to, of course. He's got a nice angle. Yeah, oh, he doesn't want that red. It's gone very close to that right middle. Just held up.
22.
Yeah, his heart would have been in his mouth for a moment.
23.
But it's all set fair now. He's got the black available into both corners. Blue on its spot. Just looking for another 48 points. 41 now. So that will mean 6 more reds.
30.
5 reds, 5 blacks is only be 40 points. So he's going to need 6 of these remaining reds, and there are 6 reds nicely in the open.
$31. $36.
Nicely on this red again. Back up for blue.
$37.
Plays that shot very well. Coming off one cushion, coming across face of the blue. Make sure he's always top side of it.
42.
Excellent start so far from Judd Trump. Looking very composed, very confident.
43. $48. $49.
Red didn't go into the middle of the pocket there, and just made this a little bit more awkward, bridging over those reds on the right hand side of the table. And safely in. And now just a few more
56.
pots away from another frame on the board.
57.
Completely different player from last night, John. As you said, looked a bit nervous. The occasion was getting the both players last night, but as in all sports, every day is completely different, isn't it?
64.
Yeah, and as I say, he was just so keen to get to this final and test himself
65.
against the best, and so far he couldn't have worked out better. This is wonderful snooker from Judd. Controlled. And there you see it now, 72 ahead, 67 remaining. Make sure that it's red, and Ronnie will not be coming back to the table.
73.
That'll keep Ronnie in his seat. He nearly made a century in the first frame. He'll struggle to make one here with these reds near the side cushion.
80.
But what a wonderful start. 89 break in the first. 81 and counting in this. Just needs this cue ball to bounce. He's gone straight.
86.
He'll struggle here. Potted it, but couldn't do much with the cue ball. Or has he got the cannon on the red near the right middle pocket to keep this break going? Well, he's Mr. Black, it doesn't matter.
87.
But that's the perfect start. It has to be saved from Ronnie O'Sullivan's point of view. He's not really played a good safety yet. And Judd Trump give him a chance, and he's taken it. It's 2-0. And the one thing that occurred to me there, over the last 4 or 5 years, he's been very consistently in the top 8, hasn't he?
Yes, he has. Yeah, very consistent. And as I said, he's got his brother going around. I've just had that little chat there, John, in the players' room.
Yeah, with Jack, saw that. Yeah,
and he said he's never seen him so relaxed. He's very calm, looking forward to this match. And his first final, of course, as you said, Ronnie 13, and there's Jack up there who goes around with him now all the time, and he likes having him around, and it's made a bit of a difference to him, there's no doubt, because
well, it's a lonely life on the road.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Take your seats as quickly as possible, please.
Is.
Third frame, Judd Trump to break.
So Judd gets frame 3 underway. Not the best break off. He's left Ronnie a long red on here. Ronnie O'Sullivan, the magician, unbelievable, has not potted a ball yet in this match. And quite a way away with that. And it's funny, you know, he's not had a lot of table time, but he's been fortunate this time. He's left nothing, but he hit that so full, didn't even get in the jaws.
I'm sure that stat will soon change. 96% pot success for Judd Trump, 0% for Ronnie O'Sullivan.
And of course that's what makes snooker unique, doesn't it? I can't think of another sport where a great player like Ronnie, okay, he's had a couple of half chances to pot a ball, but he's just having to watch his opponent at the moment. No right of reply at this game.
No, when you're sitting in that chair, there's nothing you can do when your opponent's at the table. You've just got to wait for your chance. At the moment, it's all Judd Trump, but Ronnie, very experienced. There'll be no panic mode pressed just yet.
I might have to play a little swerve here. Or can he just get past the brown? Maybe he can. Just catch the edge of this red. Yeah, he could comfortably. Bit pacey, but oh, this could be a bonus. Nestling up behind the brown. Well, just a little bit too hard for that. Yeah, it wasn't his best safety, but that's what he'll be thinking now. Judd, don't leave Ronnie an easy starter to let him get going, because at the moment Ronnie can't have his cue action under control because he's not had any table time. And once again, catching a baulk colour.
Good opener again. Just too far with the cue ball. Wanted that cue ball the other side of the baulk line, but nevertheless, good pot. As you said, John, you've got to keep your opponent cold here. Took him up behind yellow or brown.
Yeah, there's quite a big target, and he's wondering whether if he get tight up behind the brown and stop the escape down the left-hand side of the table, but even that wouldn't be brilliant, so may just try and leave Ronnie hampered by the green. That's what he's done. So Ronnie is going to have to be striking over the green. It makes the shot difficult. It was a good thinking there from Judd.
Yeah, good shot. Nice touch.
Little bit better, but still can't find that baulk cushion. But at least in it a baulk colour. But just having a look, maybe tempted to play this red, play the pot, particularly if the black goes into the right corner. Another absolute beauty, but he's lost the cue ball. In the end, you can see a little bit of annoyance on his face, but another pot that just went in as clean as a whistle. And this is when you know a player's hitting them well.
Green ball.
He just didn't have it. He needed a little bit of right-hand side there just to check that.
Judd Trump 1.
Yeah, but they give you great confidence, don't they? When those type of shots go in. Okay, not much to show for it, but still nice to knock them in. A bit heavy, this one. Ronnie's safety game just not with it at the moment. Normally so strong in that department. He's given Joe a few half chances.
Judd just having a look. He obviously is going to play the pot on the red to the left corner. He's looking whether he can get through the gap between the red near the top cushion and the black. If he could, he'd cannon another red and be on the black. That's what he's looking at. Just flicked the red. He just flicked the red that was near the top cushion. If it had just missed that, more than likely he'd have been on the black. But he did play it confidently, didn't he?
He certainly did. Another good long pot. Just that little flick you're talking about. Such a very small gap to get through. He's touching the red, so he can't play the pink here, so he's going to try and play the green, nestle off the side cushion.
Green ball.
And try and just nestle on the green. It's pretty good. Yeah, excellent shot.
Judd Trump 1.
And he's keeping the pressure on his opponent as well.
Yeah, it seems at the moment every time Ronnie comes to the table, he's on or near the green. And being so close to the baulk cushion, he needs to strike this well. No, much too thick. Much too thick.
Yeah, he just hasn't found his range yet. But that's down to his opponent as well. And once again, another long pot here for Judd Trump. Be trying to hold it for the pink or come back a little bit more for the blue. First one he's missed. Now, Ronnie O'Sullivan, a chance you've been waiting for.
In the 32nd minute, well, Ronnie just hasn't potted a ball. But this is the nature of the game. You've got to get in stroke quick. And this isn't the best chance. The black a little bit out of commission, and I think if he potted the pink, that would go on its spot and be out of place. So he may decide to play for the blue off this red, just to get the blue on its spot, a high value colour, something he can use. Wow, would you believe it? He's thought of everything except potting the ball. Amazing.
Nicely played. Double. And on the blue as well. But what a miss from Ronnie O'Sullivan. A little bit short of pace.
6.
The red on the black spot does pot into the bottom right hand corner pocket, but he's on a red at the bottom of the pack as well.
7.
Didn't go into the middle of the pocket, but he can take blue, pink or brown here. And if he can get onto that red, that's just on the black spot.
Pink
Be perfect for him. He can get down on the red here now. Yeah, and this will open up the black spot. Needs to be straight on this red.
Just measure that, Judd.
Referee Amber Haas just going to check to see there's the pink spot. Looks like there's plenty of room.
Thank you. 13.
He's on 2 reds. He's on. Just was
14.
didn't have the right angle on that red that was on the black spot, but you can take it after I'm potting the black now. The problem is the black is going to go on its highest available, which of course is the brown spot now.
Yeah, and he can't nudge that red away. So he's lost the pink, that's tied up. As you say, black now on the highest available, which is brown spot.
21.
So he's going to have to be going up and down the table for a few shots with the cue ball.
22.
Well, there's 2 reds he could play on. I don't know whether he fancies playing the cannon. I'm a little bit surprised he didn't go up for the black there. So control cannon. And it's okay. It's worked out absolutely perfectly. Release the pink nicely on a red.
27.
Looking very much like another frame in the bag.
$28.
Well, didn't want that. Kiss on the pink. Trying to go up for blue here. Just trying to avoid the pink, but now he's lost the cue ball. this pink with the rest. Very tricky indeed.
Judd Trump, 28.
Well, a good chance missed there, John.
Yeah, for the first time, didn't take advantage of his opportunity. And Ronnie still to pot a ball. Comes to the table 31 points behind. It's now coming up to 37 minutes. We're off the mark. We're off the mark. And Ronnie immediately playing up for the black, which I'm surprised when Judd Trump had his chance earlier that he didn't try and get the black back on its spot. But Ronnie, bit of work to do with the cue ball here to get the cue ball back down at the business end.
Yeah, he just doesn't have the ideal angle. Maybe close to hitting the green here when potting this black. If he plays it with topspin, just watch how close this cue ball will go to the green. Yeah, just wasn't the right angle.
Eight.
Should he take this red on down the rail? Oh, this is tough. This will test his cueing. Got to stay so still on this shot. Oh, it's just not happening at the moment for Ronnie.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 8.
Well, he may have had a result there. That red he's missed has nestled up to the blue. I don't think it passes the blue, and if it doesn't, I don't see what other red's available. Well, can he get through to this one just below the pink? Looks very tight. I mean, if he could get through to it, I thought he'd have played it by now. Now looking where he'd like to leave the cue ball when playing safe. So looks as though, as I say, Ronnie a bit fortunate not to leave a pot for Judd.
Yeah, be trying to get it up behind yellow and green here, but possible plant at the same time. Yeah, good shot. Excellent shot. A lot of distance between those two reds. But have a look at the cue ball. If he had missed a lot of distance between those, that was a very well worked out shot, and he's nicely on the brown. I think he's just got a slight angle, John.
Yeah, and that plant was something else, but as you say, he always had in the back of his mind he's going to get a good cue ball, which he's done. And he's a type of player, even if he's a bit straight on this black, he's got so much cue power. A little bit twixt in between.
5.
These are tricky, these, because you can see the cue ball, you can see the object ball, but you haven't got the pocket in your line. But as many more
6.
before it, right in the heart of the pocket. Trying to push home the advantage.
$13. 14.
after the colour. Just looking for one more red. And a dream start, you'd have to say, for Judd Trump. Looks as though he thinks the red that's near the blue would be available. That's why he's playing the pink. And this blue, I'm sorry, the red
20.
by the blue took a 44 points in front with just 43 remaining.
21.
He's playing sailor at the moment. Quite amazing sometimes, Ken, isn't it, how snooker, how it happens,
26.
you know, I mean, you never expect to start like this from Ronnie.
Judd Trump, 26.
Yeah, Ronnie coming back to the table. 49 points behind, 43 remaining, so a couple of snookers required once again. Well, he's just been kept cold by his opponent. I'm seeing everything at the moment, and there's another tough pot, but made it look very easy indeed.
Yeah, and Ronnie won't be coming back out of his seat now. I think the interesting thing about this frame that Ronnie was left with a couple of easy starters, didn't make the most of it. So Judd Trump, unlike the first two frames when he won it in one visit, did it the scrappy way, but they still count. And he leads 3-0.
You've got to say, and Ronnie failing to pot a ball for 37 minutes. And I was actually asking you guys, from Ronnie's point of view, how will you think he'd view this matchup with Judd today? Drawing from your own experience of the king of the moment against the young pretender.
Judging it from my own experience of when I used to play players, younger players, the ones that were the really talented ones, you didn't really want to be playing against. You knew what they were capable of. In my period of time I was playing the game, there weren't that many that were sustained players that are playing to that level of consistency. But Judd Trump's another problem for that, from Ronnie's perspective, because he plays consistently as well as brilliantly. So it's an interesting matchup, and he's got him cold at the moment.
He sure has, almost doing the bullying, Judd.
Yeah, if you could argue he's doing the intimidation to Ronnie O'Sullivan. I don't think Ronnie O'Sullivan will be. There'll be no panicking at the moment. He knows he's a brilliant player. He's not out of this final at all. But he's had a comfortable passage. OK, yesterday's match against Ding, the way he was going 4-0, it should have been more comfortable than perhaps it ended up. But he's not had to play his absolute best to get to the final. Now, all of a sudden, he's got someone who's not intimidated by him and who Ronnie knows is not intimidated by him. So it's hard just to start. It's not that simple just to change a gear when you need to.
Absolutely, and he's struggled a little bit, you've got to say, with his safety so far in this match.
Yeah, I mean, he hasn't had any table time to get settled down, and it's a very important part. It doesn't matter who you are, you need to settle down in a match, and every day is a different day. The interesting thing will now be, as Stephen and myself have had plenty of experience, when you get somebody in this situation, as Judd's got Ronnie at the moment, the longer you can keep him in that situation, the more you can build up the lead, the more you give yourself a comfort zone. So there's pressure on you as well. So Judd will be as desperate really to win this fourth frame to really keep the pressure on Ronnie O'Sullivan. So, yeah, so it's all sort of raised up, even though it may look one-sided.
And one thing we were talking about, Stephen, was that Judd Trump again used every minute available to him on the practice table, using the match table as practice. This is now allowed. We've seen it here for the Masters for the first time, and he's used it very effectively every time.
Yeah, he told us last night, he said, I do it because it makes me feel comfortable when the match actually starts. It feels like I'm just carrying on from actually playing. I think he had almost 20 minutes out there today. And as you say, he's literally out and then back in, and it just feels like he's carrying on that practice. So it's, yeah, it's been very useful to him this week.
He's certainly been in stroke right from the off, hasn't he, Steve?
He certainly has. You know, Ronnie O'Sullivan has, as we probably thought, not bothered to take his allotted 10 minutes to practice time. You know, the players have practice tables to play on. It's not like they're not in stroke. But walking out there, if you get off to a poor start in a match, you've got to dig yourself out of the hole.
Also, Judd is
Thank
now
you,
he's
French
3-0
forward.
up, so now he's got to stay in the
O'Sullivan to
moment,
break.
play one frame at a time. He doesn't want to start thinking ahead, what lead can I get going
Thank
into
you.
tonight? He's got to keep playing one frame at a time.
Back we go, last one before the interval.
So Ronnie O'Sullivan breaks off in this 4th frame. And it's better. Excellent break. Well, it's early days, John, but big frame for Ronnie O'Sullivan here, just before the interval.
Yes, he's gifting too many chances to Judd. If he misses a pink, which I don't think he will,
Foul. And a miss.
I'm going to
Ronnie
play that
O'Sullivan,
with an
6.
awful lot of right-hand side.
Yeah.
I expect Judd to give too many points away. A big target, that cluster of reds. But as we always say, and I know we sound as though we're repeating ourselves, I don't think you ever settle until you get a frame on the scoreboard, and Ronnie's no different to anybody else.
No. And he'll be a little bit shocked sitting in his chair as well with the start that he's had here. Well, as I said, he won't panic. Long way to go. But he needs to get a few balls, get his arm going. That glaring miss in that last frame, particularly the one into the middle pocket,
Yeah, Ronnie, thank you.
will certainly worry him slightly. Judge has just got to trying to swerve it so he gets far enough up the cushion with a little bit of the left-hand side. Now the side's got to take, and he's got to miss the pink, and he has done much better.
Touching ball.
Yeah, touching ball, so Ronnie can just play away and back up to the bulk area.
Now this will just test Ronnie slightly. You can't hit these reds too thick because of the black, but he's got to avoid the bump on the middle pocket. That's better.
The red in the middle of the table, Ronnie's just having a look at it, but he'd like to have his hand on the table to take that red on so he could screw the cue ball back. He's playing it off the ball cushion. It just makes the pot much more difficult. If he could put his hand on the table, it's a slightly easier shot, but this is a tough one. Oh, that's brilliant. Fantastic pot. Now, will that give him a little bit of inspiration? Couldn't have cued that any better. And it's so tough off the rail, John. If his hand is on the table, it just makes it a slight bit easier, but cueing off the rail, that was excellent.
Yes, it really was, and I think it got to the situation you were looking to Ronnie to make something happen. He did with that pot. Now, can he make the most of this opportunity? He's looking to play the red that's on and
6.
around the black spot here to clear the black spot area. Thought that was
7.
a bit too risky. He doesn't really want to be playing the black, but he might have no option here. Pots the black, he'll have to go up on the brown spot, it appears. Yes, no other spot available, highest available, brown
14.
spot. Now, which red can he play to possibly play for the pink to the middle? The only reason I say that, then he wouldn't have to play it with too much pace.
15.
He's on it.
Didn't go into the middle of the pocket.
21.
Because of that, just have a look at the pink here. Went into the far jaw. Because of that, he's not on the red. Tried to get on the red at the bottom of the pack, just below the pink. Hasn't pulled the cue ball back far enough. This is a bit more difficult. In fact, he didn't even
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 21.
attempt the pot, so just a good safety, and he's got that as well. Good shot. But another chance. Not much to show for it.
Foul and a miss. Ronnie O'Sullivan, 6. Yeah, Ronnie.
Yeah, he's just trying to lay into those two reds just below the pink and to the left. Delicate little shot. It's pretty good. Same target for Ronnie, up behind the yellow. A bit too much side on it this time.
Yep, he'll be disappointed with that once again. It's in a, well, it's in the black, but it was on the baulk line. Okay, Judd Trump's hampered here, so doesn't make this guaranteed safety. But he's made a good job of it. Good shot. Well, I don't know what it is, but Ronnie's not started off well in this match. Once again, much too thick. When you consider he was trying to get that cue ball near the baulk line, you can see, or the baulk cushion, you can see how far short he was. Didn't even get to the baulk line. Okay, he may not have left anything that Judd will be tempted by, but he can't keep leaving these mid-range pots for Judd. There'll only be one outcome.
I think that's the part of the game that Judd has matured most at over the last 12 months. May have taken that red on, which was a difficult one and never possibility of getting onto a colour, but just trying to keep his opponent under the gun here. Again, going to try and swing the cue ball back around to that target of yellow and brown and black. 4 cushions again. Not the best. It's okay. Just, yeah, he's disappointed. He's hitting everything a little bit too full at the moment. Not getting the right connection on his object ball.
One. Blue ball.
Excellent pot. Well, nicely controlled. Cannon into the pink just to hold the cue ball. Nicely on a couple of reds here.
6. Seven.
Big chance now, this for Judd, to go into the mid-session interval with a 4-0 lead. Would have been beyond his wildest dreams in this match. Just want to be looking over his shoulder and thinking about the enormity of what he's doing. Just concentrate, shot for shot, and so far he's doing that. Not being rushed into anything. Now, can he get through to this red near the left corner?
13.
I'm looking at his body language. He may not have screwed back far enough. Careless if he's not on it, and he's not on it. Just shows you can think and take you all the time in the world, but you've still got to hit the ball correctly. And he didn't get into that cue ball enough.
Yeah, I'd be very disappointed. Well, is he going to take this red on? Wow, this is risky. Trying to put it into this bottom hand corner pocket. Oh, what a shot. What a shot with the rest. 2 reds.
15.
Wow. Well, you won't see many better rest shots than that. Have a look at this again.
Yeah, and I can imagine what we'd have said if it hadn't have gone in. Because it didn't look like the right shot to play. But that's the way he plays sometimes.
22.
He's a great potter. He believes he can pot anything on the table. And he just
23.
didn't want to let that chance go begging. As it turns out, it's worked out for him. Just 4 points behind now.
29.
Black doesn't go to the left corner. So if this ready, probably have to play for the pink to the middle.
30.
And this pink will put him 3 points in front. Oh, well, that was close. He thought he'd missed it. And I'll be honest with you, so did I. Once they catch that near jaw,
36.
they usually stay out. So 3 points to lead. He's going to need 5 of these remaining reds.
37.
Was hoping to play a cannon on that red full to be on the black. So that bit went wrong. He's on the pink, but a little bit to do here. After this pink, another 26 points needed, which means 4 more reds.
Struggling
43.
to get a complete hand on the cue ball, just losing it slightly. I think he feels the enormity of this frame as well. And as you said, you just got to keep in the moment, not worry about the score. But he keeps potting them.
44.
He's back in position now. But he's going to need one of the 2 difficult reds, the one below the black and the one on the right hand side cushion. He's going to need one of those if he's going to win the frame from this position. 17 points ahead.
50. $51.
Again, slightly overhit. I'm starting to feel a little bit of tension in the arm. It's understandable. Great shot. Where's the cue ball? Have a look at it. Oh, just a little bit
56.
short of pace. The right line, but again, big target. Yellow, green, brown. I think you'd be more prudent here, John, just to play off this red, off the right-hand side cushion. A little bit of left-hand side and try and get that cue ball up behind that yellow.
And that'll be his intention. Just going to miss the green.
Judd Trump, 56.
It looks good. It looks good. It looks very good now. So he goes back to his seat. 23 points in front. And Ronnie snookered on the 3 reds that remain. Shake of the head. Disappointed he didn't win the frame at that visit. But you feel he'll probably get another chance, just over an hour of playing time. Ronnie needs to hit this lovely line. Played it beautifully, but he has left the red to the middle. And it was more or less a free shot.
Be definitely taking it on as well. You just got to be careful. Some of these balls have sort of fell to the near jaw. Let's have a look at it. No, not this time. Stayed pretty straight there. Almost looked like it was going the other way. I'd like to take the red from behind the black here, John. Knock it up the table. Try and keep the cue ball tight to this top cushion behind the black.
Yeah, the only problem is with that red that's sort of level with the pink, it gives him a free shot to play safe off that. But yeah, he needs reds in play, does Ronnie? And you feel whoever pots the next red, the winner of this safety exchange, will win the frame. And that applies even though Ronnie is 23 points behind. Big frame, big moments in it. Very good shot from Judd. Ronnie with another problem. don't think he can get past the brown to pot the red that's just above the blue. Well, he's got something in mind. Not quite certain what it is. Now, another mistake, and that mistake will probably cost him this fourth frame. Unbelievable scoreline at the moment for Ronnie O'Sullivan and his supporters. Not turned up yet.
No, I'm very surprised. You see Ronnie's pals in there, Damien Hirst, of course, in the audience. And they'll be as shocked as a lot of the Ronnie fans in the arena tonight, this afternoon. We weren't expecting this scoreline. Well, it's been all Judd Trump.
8.
At the moment. Not only potting well and
9.
making some good breaks, but playing excellent safety, keeping Ronnie at bay, keeping him cold, keeping him away from the table. Every time he comes to the table, he looks like he's tight to that ball cushion. And it's a very good performance from Judd
16.
so far.
Yep, he looks in complete control. He's calling all the shots. Look at Ronnie down at 62% pot success, although he's not had many to go at. So 39 a lead.
Judd Trump, 16.
One snooker, one 4-point snooker to tie. It's not beyond the realms of possibility, this, particularly where the yellow, green and brown are. To get the snooker, that is. Well, I'm very surprised. I know what his plan was, pot the red in the middle, pot the black, and then play a snooker behind the brown off the yellow. But once again, Mr. Comparatively Easy pot. So, whatever else happens in this match, Ken, it'll be interesting to see how Ronnie O'Sullivan reacts now to this complete reversal at the start of this match.
Yeah. And I think the interval is probably coming at a good time. Spend 15 minutes, sort of clear his head, maybe get on the practice table, hit a few balls. I know he doesn't normally do that, but it might be a good time. Because at the moment, Judd Trump is potting everything.
Yeah, and this, to me, was the biggest frame of all that he's won. I mean, they're all important, but he got in, he made a few, he looked a little bit tentative, made
8.
a few mistakes with positional side of the thing, but he's got over the line, that's the most important thing. Oh! Well,
Ronnie O'Sullivan 4, Judd Trump 8.
And Ronnie O'Sullivan walks out the arena, nothing to